Well, good evening, everyone. My name is Debbie Singleton, and I come to you live on Monday evenings at 7 p.m. So sorry I'm a little bit late. I thought I had everything all done. I was sitting here doing some other things, and then all of a sudden I was like, oh my goodness, I didn't have my card all cut out. I usually have everything all pre-done so that I'm all ready to go. And then I was like, where are my card cutouts? And I didn't have it all cut out. So I'm so sorry. So to hurry up and cut it out. I had all the other things all done because it's a pretty intense card that I have ready for us tonight. So at least I had all the other stuff pre-done. So oh my goodness, it was just kind of crazy. So I was messing around doing some other things. So, oh my goodness, kind of silliness. But anyways, well, good evening, everyone. I'm so glad you could join me. So I have some fun stuff. I said last week that I would let you know. So we have this really wonderful special. So if you like to work your own hours and you like to have discounts on product and you like to just craft and you like to meet new people, we have this great deal for you. And it's just until the end of this month. So you can get your kit product, basically, $165 worth of product for $99. That is an amazing, amazing deal. Only to the end of this month. So it's just like a May special, basically, that they're having. You can always get your kit or your product for $99, but you don't get that much free product. So $165 worth of free stuff for $99. Now, say that you sign up and you're underneath me, and then you don't want to you decide, okay, I want my $165 worth of free product, but I don't really want to do anything. That's fine. You don't have to hold classes. You don't have to have lives. You don't have to have people over. You don't have to do anything. You don't have to have anything. Some people just do it so that they get discounts on their product. So you get up to 20% discounts depending on how much you purchase. You get your 10 to 20% discount on your product, which is kind of nice. So you just buy your products and then you get your discounts. So you could just do that too. Or you decide after you've purchased your $99 kit or your product and get $165 worth of product, you decide, you know what, I don't really want to do this either. I don't want anything. And you don't want to do that. That's okay too. So there's no pressure. There's no anything. But this is a great deal. So that's when to sign up for, is to get good deals like this. That's when to sign up, is to get these awesome and amazing deals. So if you want to do that, just let me know and I'll help you do the sign up process. So just be sure to let me know. But that's a great deal. So I always like to let everybody know when there's good deals so that if you want to, you can sign up, and then you can sign up under me and be part of my team. I would love that. I would love you to be part of my team. So I am using the Floral Impressions Suite collection. Yes, I know I was a little bit late. So sorry, Mel. So I got everything all done, and I forgot that I didn't have the card part cut out. I had everything else done and cut out. Didn't have the card part cut out. Yeah. So I had to hurry up and cut that out before I came on. So anyway, so I'm using the Floral Impressions Suite collection. Oh my goodness, this is such an amazing collection. So in this collection, it comes with paper, and I didn't use the paper. So we are using, no, not the paper, and so I don't know where it is because I didn't get that out. But we are using stamps and paper, but not the DSP paper. So I'm going to move this over. So in this, we're not using any of that. In this suite collection, you get a bunch of items, which is so amazing. You get this really awesome stamp set, and then you get the die set that goes with it. And in this die set, you actually can cut out these flowers, and that's what I have already cut them out, stamp. You get the flowers, but you also get these pieces, which I cut out some of these pieces. So this piece cuts out this, let me show you, because I've already cut it out. So it cuts out 2 pieces actually, which is really fun. So it will cut out a center piece, and it also cuts out an outside piece, which this outside piece is a stitched piece, which we used to have like stitched labels, it used to be called, which is really nice. So what I did was I cut one of the, used this stitched, and it cut out the stitched piece, and then I just put it aside because it cut out of this pink color, but I wanted this piece, and then I wanted a middle section, so I had to cut out another one and use the white piece because I'm gonna do it differently. So we have a lot we're going to do tonight. But then these are the insides of the flowers. These are some other little flowers. These are leaves. These are stems. So it has so many amazing pieces to it. I'm not using all of the pieces, but we do have some amazing pieces to it. So that's so nice. And it does cut out the flowers. It cuts out all these flowers. This set is also a 2-step flower. So that's also so amazing. It comes with a embossing folder, which I didn't use the embossing folder, but you can use the embossing folder, which is really fun. I've seen it used. It's really pretty. Comes with these strawberry slush and pretty and pink gems. I have used the gems before, and I'm using them again tonight, so you can see I've used these gems because I love them. It also comes with really pretty paper and some gold labels, which they're somewhere, but I haven't used them, but that also comes with them. So it comes with a lot of things. So what I'm doing tonight, let me show you this card. This is the card we're making, but I'm going to make it a birthday card as well. So this is the card we're going to do tonight. So I made it a little bit different. Again, I did my layers because you know me, I love layers. So we're going to do layers. These are the flowers. These flowers are amazing. I love the petals. And then I added the greenery, of course. So this piece is this white piece. And I didn't want it stark white, although you could do it stark white if you wanted to, but it's this white piece. And I wanted to change this one up a little bit. So instead of the pretty and pink, I went with the darker pink. So we're going to put the darker pink behind it. And then instead of thanks, I'm going to do a happy birthday. But other than that, we're going to do the same. So I really liked, and this is really off color, but I really liked putting this green with all of these. So this is Pretty Peacock, and I really liked doing that. Now this background, so we could have die cut it, but I wanted something very different. So I'd seen someone use this, and it is this big stamp. And this big stamp is, I probably put the box away because it was in my way. And it is called, I wrote it down, Painted Stripes. So I'm going to show you how to do that. And I saw someone do that, and I thought that was really interesting. So it's a very big stamp. So we're going to do that. So since it's really large, I'm going to show you how to stamp on that. First of all, I used a very typical card base. So this is our Pretty Peacock, and it's 8.5 by 5.5. Well, thank you, Mom. And I scored it at 4 1/4. So we're going to that's my typical. So instead, I think last week I did my card, I did the same size and we turned it this way. So we're going to turn it this way. So we're going to turn it this way. And we're going to put our edges together. And this is going to make it like this. And then we're going to just I'm just going to make it lay as flat as I can because we are going to put a lot of layers on this. So then our very first layer we're going to put on there. So then that just lays flat. So then our first layer, and this is out of our strawberry slush. And this layer is going to be 5 1/4 by 4. And then our second layer is out of Pretty in Pink, and that is 5 1/8 by 3 7/8, and that's going to layer right on there. Okay, so that's going to go like that. And then the white piece that we're going to stamp this big stamp on, that's 5 by 3 3/4. So then that's going to sit on there, but we're going to stamp on that. So, and then on the inside, we also have a white piece, and that's 5 1/4 by 4. But we're going to actually put a stamp on that. So we can stamp, we can glue these two. They're really close together, but it's just going to give just a little bit of color that's going to seep through is basically what it's going to do. So I'm using liquid. I always use liquid glue because you guys know I like liquid glue because it gives you a lot of wiggle room. And these are really close and tight together. So I just kind of put it up like that, and it gives me some wiggle room. And I just kind of make sure that I've got as close as I can. I mean, it's as much as I can get it even because it's hard to get it. And then I'll just kind of make sure that it sticks on there. Then that way it all gives me some of that wiggle room. Okay. Then I'll set that aside. And then we're going to stamp on this. So we're going to take our big stamp, and we're going to actually take the stamp. Oh, good. I'm glad you like that. I'm going to take my Pretty Peacock, and I'm going to stamp directly on this. This was hard to do because this is a big stamp, and this is hard to do. And I ended up stamping almost all of this because I wasn't sure exactly how much I wanted to stamp, how much is going to be on here. So you just kind of have to stamp here and just kind of turn it around and stamp all over until you get that your stamp is all stamped up. Now the stamp is kind of made so there's spots on the stamp that don't get stamped on, so that there is some areas that aren't covered. So it was kind of weird because I couldn't get the stamp on in the middle. So it was kind of strange, but I don't know if I maybe didn't have enough ink on here because I couldn't get all the way in the middle. So it was kind of making me crazy, but you won't see the middle, so that'll be okay. But I did want to make sure that I had enough on the top and on the bottom and here. See, I couldn't get that part right there in the middle, but you won't see that, so that'll be all right. I just inked this up, and then I'm going to show you. All right, that seems to be okay. And then this piece of paper, like I said, it's only 5 by 3 3/4. It's definitely not the same size as this. So I just kind of gauged about where I wanted to lay this. And I want a little bit more down here because I don't know that that's inked up enough to where I want it. Okay. And so once I straightened that out. Then I just kind of laid this on here. And then I just pressed this so that this is going to actually imprint on there for me. And you can probably use another piece of paper because see, I got prints all over there. And that's just mostly because that's still inked up. So you could probably use like another piece of paper to do that so that you don't get ink like I just did all over me, because I'm going to have ink everywhere. But on the back side, it really won't matter because it's going to be covered up. You're going to glue that side down. All right. Now I'm going to pick that up. And there we go. Am I frozen? Really? Yes, I'm frozen. Some days I just don't know. All right. Let's try and make this go back. All right. My talking one isn't frozen, but the other one is frozen. I don't understand how that can't be frozen, but my talking one is not frozen. All right. So I don't understand why this camera here is not frozen. But that one is, huh? Let's remove that one. Let's present. Stop extra camera. Now am I completely gone? Present. Extra camera. Share. Am I completely gone now? Oh, there I am. Add to stage. Okay. I don't know why this camera, what is going on with this camera? Because you can't see what you can see me, but you can't see this one. You need to see what I'm doing, not my face. All right, so this is the one that you can't see. All right, so am I back? All right, so All right. Stupid ass. All right. That's there. All right, so is my sound back? But okay, but you can't see my other screen where this thing is, huh? Where this I can't get this screen to go away. There it is, but it's like frozen. this stage. All right. Well, okay, so, oh my God. Okay, so if I put that up there, then you can hear me, because that's the one that is the one that tells the computer that have. Oh my gosh, this is just about ready to annoy me with no end in sight. Okay, there I am. It's the extra camera. I need the other camera. Oh my God. Okay, well, you can hear me, but I don't have this camera. There we go. I touch that and look what happens. Present extra camera. It's going to take me an hour to do this. That's the camera that's giving me the problem. All right, so we can hear you. In a minute, hopefully we can see me. Why? Oh my gosh. I know, but you can't see me stamp one because I'm not on that camera. Gosh. Okay, so what I want you to do is what I did with this white piece is I took the Pretty in Pink, and I didn't want this to be a white piece. So I took my Pretty in Pink stamp pad, and I took a whatever this brush is. You go off, stamp off, and then you always go in a circular motion, and you go onto your paper. Start off of your paper and go onto your other paper. So you can do it on your glass mat, but I just like to do it on an extra piece of paper. And then I usually just rotate my paper, and then I go on to here so that it's going to just give it just a little bit of shadowing, just so that it's just not a stark white. And then make sure that there's just some color all the way around. I'm just giving it just kind of a light dusting color. And you can make it as dark or as light as you want. But always start out light, and you can always make it darker. And that's why you tap off, so that you don't have a glob when you go on to there. And that's just going to give it some different color and texture. And then it's not a stark white. You could do a stark white. White would look okay too, but I just wanted to add a little bit of extra color to it. Oops, I'm not in a spot where you can see me. Okay, so I already did the flowers. You already can see the flowers, but I didn't stamp the flowers on the inside. So what I did was I took the two. All right, all right. So I like to stamp this is a two-step stamping. So I like to stamp first the one that has all the intricate parts to it. The second step to this is the one that has just a plain one. And you're always going to do the darker color with the one with all the intricate pieces to it. Now, this set is kind of easy to be able to line it up. There's like a little alcove of a piece here. And so there's the same on this flower too. So when you stamp it, you'll be able to turn it over and stamp. I stamped it so that that little alcove piece is more to the right, so that when I go to stamp the plain one, it's also to the right. Always do your one that's intricate in the dark color. So what I used was I kind of mixed and matched my colors, but I liked the Melon Mambo color as my dark color. I mixed and matched all these colors, and I think I just did them all different colors. So I just kind of came down here and I just kind of stamped this down here, and you have to let it dry a little bit. So I'm going to do that. That's so pretty. And I did the envelope as well. Because I didn't use any paper, I wanted to decorate the envelope as well. So I stamped the outside of the envelope. So I stamped the left-hand corner of the envelope. So I'm going to stamp it and let it dry. Then I'm going to stamp the happy birthday part. This stamp set doesn't say happy birthday on it, so I had to get a happy birthday from another stamp set. And so I grabbed the happy birthday, and I used a little bit bigger, where is it? Oh, there it is. little bit bigger square. Fit on there. Just barely fit on there. Gonna just barely fit on there. So. And I think I'm going to stamp it in strawberry slush. This is Happy Mother's Day from something else. I have to go find that where that is. Now with the thanks, I had to stamp it kind of toward the bottom of that. Oh, that looks good. Oh, sorry, I'm usually because I knew the flowers I was going to put them, but that should be okay. All right. So I think I'm going to stamp Pretty in Pink in there. So I think I'm going to use, and I don't think I'm going to do a full strength Pretty in Pink. So now I'm going to take this Pretty in Pink plain stamp, and I'm going to stamp off, and then I'm going to line it up and stamp on. And there we go. Oh my goodness, that is so pretty. I don't even know if you can see that. I'm sorry. Stamp off. And that's going to be the inside. So I'm going to stamp this. I can line this one up as nicely as I did that one. Sometimes you can and sometimes not. That's about right. That's so pretty. All right, so I'm not sure. Can you see that? If you're able to see. That is so pretty, those two colors. So I did Melon Mambo and I did Pretty in Pink. All right, and then that's going to go on the inside of the card. And then we're going to put the card together. So I'm going to glue this inside. Okay. Oops. So I'm going to glue this inside. And I'm going to put it together. This two-step is so pretty. And I really liked these colors, these pinks with this Pretty Peacock. I don't know why, but I just thought it was so pretty with the Pretty Peacock. All right, now we're going to glue this set that we did together. I just think that looks amazing together. I just like those colors. I'm not sure why. I don't know what prompted me to do those colors together. I just liked them. I saw this done and I really liked it. So when I saw this card, I actually took ideas. It inspired me to do this card. I've seen, saw someone do this, and then I saw something like this, and so I put like ideas together. So that's what you do, is you look up ideas, and then it prompts you to do all different things. All right, so I liked, oops, I think I glued this. All right, so then I wanted to change this up. So you have to glue, I found that if I glued this down first and then I put this inside, that worked better for me. So you just need to put a little bit of this glue here. It's real, and you know what I did is I used my tweezers so I could hold on to it. I'm like way past my time because I am having lots of technical difficulties. I don't know what's going on. I think I have to get a different, like, you have to have this thing that hooks up to your computer, to my, and then to my second little, like, camera, and I don't know, it hooks up all this stuff, and I think that's what the problem is. And then my, I don't know, I'll have to look at it later. Because it works really good for a while, and then it doesn't. And then I moved it, that cord, and then it said, you're not hooked up. And then it said, you can't do anything. I'm like, why can't I do anything? This week is the kids' last week of school. My grandkids are, actually the boys are out of school tomorrow, and I think my Haley bug is out Wednesday. I think Wednesday is her last day of school. So, all right. I think by the time I put everything on here, this will stick on there. I don't think I need very much glue, and I think it'll stick. I just don't want it to catch on anything. Come on. But I don't want this glue to glop out because this is so thin. All right, so that should be okay. So then you just kind of, you know, about as even up and down and all around as you can possibly think about. I probably could have brought it down just a little bit, but that's all right. And then we can put glue on this. And this will fit inside there. So I'm going to put that in there. And there we go. Now I did dimensionals. Surprise, surprise. Everybody thinks that's a surprise. On everything else. Okay, so I already cut out these cute little flowers. So I did these flowers. That didn't go in there. That was something else. All right. So I did these flowers exactly like I did this. I stamped them, and then I cut them out with our die set, and then I cut these leaves out. Now, what I like to do with the flowers, see, they're kind of flat. And they're just kind of flat. So I like to take my bone folder. Oh, I'm not done with this. So. Okay. And I like to give them, you know, a little crease because I don't like them to be completely flat. Now the neat thing about our little dies, you can't see this in the camera, but when you die cut them, oh, on this side you can probably see what the die cuts do. It gives them a little bit of like texture to them. They are so textured. It is so awesome. It's real. These are really probably my favorite flower set. It's really awesome. So I like to give it a little bit of curl to them because I think flowers just they're not flat. I don't think they're flat at all. You give them as much or as little as you want. It doesn't really matter. So normally the middles of flowers are all different colors. You could do the same color. You could do yellow. You could do brown. You could do whatever color you want. And I saw this lady, and she does, her favorite thing is flowers. And flowers are okay. I mean, I do have flower sets. But she did this gray, and she did smoky slate. And I follow her a lot, and I love her. And I was like, oh my goodness, gray doesn't take away from what the flowers are. And I thought that was so cool. So I did hers. That's what I did. I was like, oh my goodness, that is so awesome. So her name's Patty Bennett, and I just love her. So I did her idea. So All right, so I'm going to give these just a little bit of a crease because I just think that they don't need to be flat. I don't know that I want to use both of these big flowers. I don't know. I'll just crease them just in case. I think I'm probably going to just use all right, and then of course, I use dimensionals on everything. Everything else, because I thought it needed to have dimensionals for everything else. So I popped up the flowers. I'm not sure. I think I'm going to just do one and we'll see. Maybe it won't. That's going to sag. Let's do that. Okay. So let's see what I want. I want this here, and I think I want that here. Oh, maybe I do want. I want this like this. That's why I want that. See why you don't put those down there yet? Yep, I do want two of these big ones. Okay. Yeah. Okay. All right, and then of course we have our leaves. And I just put glue on those, but oh my goodness, I like that. All right, so let's put these on, and then we'll put the leaves on. Okay, let's put the happy birthday on. And let's put a couple of these guys on. All right, let's do some leaves and see if I need one more of those little guys on there. It's amazing how much the leaves add to it, huh? Put a leaf here. I think leaf needs to go right here. Yep. Okay. Oh, I need my glue back, huh? Okay. Now I literally just put some glue at the bottom. And then I just held it down for a minute, make sure it's going to stay. And I usually have a problem with all different kinds of greens. It just looks usually weird. But this needed to have like greens in it for leaves because you can't have this color. I think, well, it's your card, so you can have whatever color green you want. But it needed to have green for leaves. And so, of course, green leaves are all different colors. And so it definitely needed to have some different color green leaves. All right. Thank you for hanging with me. All my troubles here. There we go. I'm going to put this back up. Yes, they do add the color contrast that we needed. So here's our card. Here's our envelope with that little. So it's hard to do this up here. That's so hard. The colors really do look really pretty together. I was so surprised at how pretty they do look together. Like I said, I don't know what made me think of this, but I really liked this color combination. See how pretty that looked? I don't know if you could tell. That is so pretty. This stamp set to do that double stamping is so pretty. It is so nice. Oh, no blame. Thank you. So here is the, goodness, this is just a mess. And it does need bling, and these are super pretty. So I'm going to put and I use the strawberry slush bling. And I am going to use the darker ones again. There. That looks much better. It did need some bling to it. As much as we like bling. Yes, it does need it. That is so pretty. Those colors together. And I just mixed and matched. So I did strawberry slush, pretty pink. I did, what was my other color there? I had it turned around. Melon Mambo. All those colors matched really nice. Yes, next Monday is Memorial Day, and I don't think I'm going to do a live because we're going to be all like crazy. We're not going anywhere, but we're probably going to be doing stuff, and I am not going to do a live. So thanks for reminding me. But other than that, if you need something, let me know, and I hopefully can figure out what this issue is with my camera. So thanks for hanging with me. Have a great week, and we will talk to you later. Have a great night. Bye.